Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here, and in today's video I'm going to be playing you a few clips of Ron Rivera's press conference, Scott Turner's press conference, and even Kyle Allen's press conference. And then when we're done, I will give you guys my reaction to everything and the comments by Ron Rivera, Scott Turner, and Kyle Allen. If you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. And remember, check out House of Hoodies, great Washington hoodies, Sean Taylor and custom hoodies. Go ahead and check it out. Link in the description, code Pedro for 15% off.
Obviously, the big news of the day, switching at quarterback. What made you to move to Kyle Allen right now in this moment?
Well, I think the biggest thing is looking at where we are in terms of our schedule and the situation and circumstances. This has been thought out by me for a while, to me, it goes back to the beginning of the schedule. We have 4 games coming up at the beginning that I was hoping to come out of it being 2-4, and then going into a stretch where we play 4 NFC games, 3 divisional games, and again where we could make some hay. And unfortunately, we're 1-3. We got 4 divisional games coming up. 3 divisional games coming up, 4 conference games, and I just felt, based on the things that have gone on with Dwayne, based on his development and where he is, we're better off putting the ball in the hands of guys that know our system, a guy that's been in our system for 3 years, backed up by a guy that's been in the system before and is a little bit more accomplished quarterback. This is not an indictment on Dwayne as much as an indictment on the situation, circumstances that we are in. He did not have the benefit of OTAs and minicamp. He didn't have the benefit of 4 preseason games to work through things. And because of that, he's behind in his development in the system. And again, it's an unfortunate situation. But, as we go through the first 4 games and look at them and break them down, and, I visit with the coaches, talk to the coaches, go through the games with the coaches and the things that happen, it's just one of those things that he needs more time. And we're also, though, in a situation with what has happened in our division. It's open. And so I want to take an opportunity to see what we could do.
Les? Hey, Ron. Sorry I got in a minute late. Was there anything about what happened at the end of the game the other day or towards the end when on the 4th down that he,
No.
On the pass, on the sack, are those things that kind of count against him at this point?
No, but those are things that all talk and speak to his development and things that he's got to learn to grow with. And my point just being is that he hasn't had the opportunity to play a lot of football. He hasn't had the opportunity to learn a lot of football and practice a lot of football. And that's the thing that he didn't get. He didn't get a lot of it last year. Going into OTAs and mini camps, which were blown out of the water because of COVID, he didn't get that. He hasn't had the benefit of that kind of work yet. And because of it, and because of our circumstance and situation, I made the decision.
Sam?
Ron, you've talked about the importance of rebuilding and evaluating and developing Dwayne. Is there any worry that maybe long-term or for long-term development that you would go for the short-term play in the schedule in the division?
That's exactly what this is. This is an opportunity to find out. We got 4 games that are critical. There are 4 games that are conference games. 3 of those 4 are divisional games. And that's what this is. This is a short term to find out. I could have gone with Dwayne and who knows what would have happened. But if the negative happened, you could lose a young quarterback. Dwayne's got an NFL arm. Okay. And that's a legit thing he has, but he hasn't had a lot of NFL experience. You said, well, the only way he's going to get it if you play it. And the only way he's going to get it if he practices. And we missed a series of practices by not having the OTAs and minicamp and not having a regular training camp where he would have had 4 preseason games to work through things.
I talked to Coach. Obviously, he brought it up. Wanted to know my opinion on it. I understood 100% where Coach was coming from. When just talking about Dwayne, he's had some ups and downs, obviously, over these first 4 games. We've been, trying to do things to play towards his strengths. And we just feel like at this point, he's got a little bit of a ways to go. And there's some mistakes that showed up that were kind of repeat type mistakes. And I think that's what really started getting Coach thinking that way. Frankly, when he brought it up, I agreed. And and then our coach decided to make the decision.
Pete Haley?
When you mentioned the mistakes, Scott, what were those big ones in your mind, and what can Kyle do to make sure those mistakes are limited in the future?
Well, the obvious ones I think that everyone points out are like the interception stuff. And I don't want to get too specific because there are things that have happened over the games that, maybe people don't see. And, I think I want to focus more on going forward, but just some opportunities that we didn't capitalize on.
Sam?
What was Dwayne's reaction like when you talked to him today? And what is your plan to keep him engaged and growing in the offense moving forward?
So, Dwayne was obviously not very happy when he found out about the decision that was made. He's a competitor. He wants to play. He's a football player. And we'll formulate a plan and get that together with him. But it's, he's going to be a part of it just like everybody else, just like the other quarterbacks in the room. And then we'll have a specific plan as it relates to him on the practice field.
Kyle, Scott Abraham, ABC 7. I guess, first of all, how were you told the news about being the starter on Sunday, and what was your reaction?
Coach Rivera told me this morning. And excited, man. I'm excited to get an opportunity, excited to go play, and a great challenge in the Rams this week. A really good team, off to a hot start. So yeah, excited.
Les?
Hey, Kyle. Les Carpenter, Washington Post. When you had kind of a chance to sit back now and not play a little bit, what did you learn from that? How does that make you better? I mean, sometimes you would want to be out there and playing, but what happens when you don't? What do you learn from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you get a different point of view when you're back there, not always in the game. It's not bullets firing at you. You get a chance to kind of digest things a little slower. And so, yeah, there's things I've learned and I've seen from just standing aside and watching from afar. But, I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to play.
Pete Haley?
Hey, Kyle. Pete Haley with NBC Sports Washington. Just looking at the division here, you guys are now in the middle of a playoff race. So how do you feel coming off the bench cold, playing a game this Sunday against the Rams and trying to elevate this team to the top of the NFC East?
I'm ready. Feel great. Feel excited. I'm glad that we're still in the playoff race. I think this is an interesting division so far this year. It's been a slow start for somewhat everyone in the division. So, for us in the middle of the division right now with a chance to win on Sunday and get ourselves back in the top of it, it's a great opportunity. And so we're all just focused on this week. We're really ready to take advantage of this opportunity.
Okay, so you guys just saw a couple clips from Ron Rivera, Scott Turner, and Kyle Allen. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now on to some of my biggest takeaways, and also I'll show you guys some footage of practice today, Kyle Allen throwing the football. So there was a lot of things. I think Ron Rivera talked about it. One of the reasons why Dwayne Haskins was benched, he obviously wasn't looking good, and that was part of the reason was because he didn't have a full offseason, didn't have a full training camp, preseason, mini camp, and OTAs, which obviously hurt him. He is the third stringer. He wants Dwayne Haskins to, watch, and maybe he'll be able to learn from this. Something else that I thought was very interesting is Rivera says fans don't see the frustration of other players on the sideline and that players want to win. So there must have been a lot of players. I don't know if players came up to Ron or others and talked about this, but it seemed like a few players were frustrated. Probably the defense, that the defense was playing pretty good and the offense was not doing well, and they were putting the defense in bad situations. That could be part of it. Here is another tweet. So Dwayne Haskins doesn't appear to be taking any snaps at practice, even in individual drills. It went Allen, Alex Smith, and Steve Montez. So when the practice squad quarterback is getting more work than Dwayne, that's weird. I think maybe since it's the first day that Dwayne knew about it, he's kind of, maybe they're letting him chill for a little bit, but it is very weird. Here's Alex Smith and Steven Montez throwing the ball, and then Dwayne Haskins is looking. He's just right here. He's just looking, not doing anything. So you got to feel bad for the guy, but we'll see how he responds. Give him time. Obviously, he's not the starter right now. It's Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen's the starter, but don't be surprised if Alex Smith doesn't look good. You could definitely see or if Kyle Allen doesn't look good, you could see Alex Smith go in. And if Alex Smith goes in and leads us somehow to a playoff berth, that would be one of the best stories of all time. And yeah, so I didn't want to make too much of a video. Maybe I'll do another one tomorrow or the day after, but I wanted you guys to see that press conference, so the video wouldn't be too long. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, and peace. Check out houseofhoodies.com.